To Goya Virtual. Today I'm going to be running you through the basics of how to maintain a BMX bike. Now if you look here, I have my BMX bike. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to run you from start to finish, top to bottom, and basics of how to maintain a BMX bike. Now if you look here,
first things first,
I have my BMX
I'm just going to run you over.
What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to run you from start to finish, top to
I
bottom,
have
and basics of how to maintain a BMX bike. Now if you look here,
first things first,
I have my BMX
I'm just going to run you over.
What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to run you from start to finish,
and
top to bottom, and basics of how to maintain a BMX bike.
fit into my pegs there. If you don't have one, you can use an adjustable spanner or anything like that.
So, starting from the top, we're going to want to make sure that our grips are okay. So what we have here, our grips. We're going to make sure they're not loose, they're not spinning. When they're spinning, that is due to water being trapped underneath them, and that is known as throttle grip. Now that can really ruin your grip when you're trying to ride. Your hands can slip, your grips can spin. It's just never a good time, really. We're just going to want to make sure that your bar ends are in place. Bar ends are very important as they protect the end of your bars, and they also protect your side if you were to fall on them from being hit by a round piece of metal like that. Following on from there, we're going to be checking over the stem. Your stem is what holds your bars into place. So what we're going to do to check that over is we're going to get a 6mm Allen key, and I will show you how to make sure it's tight. So, with a 6mm Allen key, you're going to want to take it in, just make sure everything is nice and tight. You're going to check it diagonally. Remember, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Make sure it's tight. If it's loose, it's going to allow your bars to slip, and that can be really bad for you. As you can see, mine is fully tight, like so. We're also going to do the same for these bolts at the back here. These are called pinch bolts. They're what make sure that your bars and stem stay on your forks and don't twist. So same thing really, to make sure they're tight, to avoid any risk of them spinning and causing you to fall. After that, we're going to make sure that our headset is okay. So what you're going to want to do is lift your bike up and just push the bars forwards, see if you can feel any play in it at all. If you can't, that's a good sign that it is tight. However, if you do, all you're going to want to do is tighten down this bit here. This is your top cap. It's another thing that you can do with a 6mm, and all you're going to do is just tighten that down. Now that is what holds your headset in place. Headset is the bearings that are contained in here and down here. And what they are what allow your bars to turn comfortably. Now I'm just going to flip the bike over and we'll start working on the front wheel. And that was the Goya Virtual. To see the full thing, just head over to ymcanorfolkyouthsuite.org and it will be available there. So, welcome back everybody to the Friday Feelings podcast. This week I'm joined by Jess Tyson, who works for Mind Matters. Jess, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi Chris, thank you for having me. I work for the Mind Matters team at YMCA Norfolk, and we're a small team, but we go all around the county delivering mental health awareness sessions and training for schools, for youth clubs, for businesses, community organisations, really just trying to raise awareness of mental health and help equip people with tools and confidence for helping others when they might be in need.
That's really good. How have you been finding that over lockdown then, and with just COVID in general?
Yeah, do you know what? It has been tricky. I think we have been impacted, just like everyone else has, really. We used to do a lot of face-to-face training and delivery, so that all had to stop quite abruptly. And we found ourselves having to really adapt and change quickly, which we have done now. We do mental health first aid training online. We've been doing COVID secure sessions following government guidelines in youth settings and schools, and we also have been doing Zoom chats. But I think we find our work is now really needed. We're really busy. We're finding that lockdown has impacted everyone's mental health and ours too. We've had to really take care of ourselves and take care of each other as a team. So we're finding it challenging, but I think we've found some positives in it, and we are still going. We're still out there. We're still delivering training because it's really needed.
I can imagine it's needed now, just as more than ever, really, especially with just the winter coming in, the days getting shorter. I know that can affect a lot of people. I think the official term for it is like seasonal affective disorder. Or something.
Yeah, that seasonal affective disorder, so SAD as an acronym, is definitely something that impacts people over the winter. And I think even if you maybe don't have that as a diagnosis, I think we all definitely feel cold weather, wet days. It makes us feel a bit more gloomy, and we have to kind of remember the positives to feel happy again, don't we? And I think some people love winter, some people hate winter as well. So I think it depends how you kind of 100%. Look at it. Some people love the sun, don't they?
I think the biggest issue at the moment, especially for me, is over the last lockdown, because it was lovely weather, you could go sit outside, have a barbecue with your family, walk your dog, something like that. But now it's just almost like, what are you supposed to do? Because it's just dark and cold most of the time. I'm really struggling to find just ways to get out and enjoy being out.
Yeah, it's almost like a double whammy, isn't it? Because in the first lockdown, we at least could get out in the sunshine, even if it was just in your back garden, or you go for a walk, or go to the park, or sit at the beach. And actually, we, like as a family, we did loads of stuff, just getting out into the countryside and having an ice cream at the beach. And now, it's so much harder, isn't it? Because you think, well, we want to go out, but we can't go somewhere indoors. Cafes are not open at the minute, and you don't want to sit on a park bench in the rain because that's miserable as well. So you're really limited. You have to be more creative in finding those ways of kind of getting out and seeing people as best you can, or staying connected to people. So it's definitely one of those like doubly hard. I think second lockdown, you might think, oh, we've done this before, or we know what to do, but actually it's not the same.
No, it's not the same at all.
It's a completely different scenario. I just worked on my tan a lot in the first lockdown as well. I was out in my back garden loads, which is great, but I can't do that now.
I mean, you could give it a go, but I'm sure you could try it freezing.
Yeah, you could, couldn't you? Do you know what? I'm one of those people that I don't like the cold. I don't like feeling chilly and cold. So I definitely hibernate over winter.
I wear like 2 jumpers in the house just because I can't be bothered with the cold. No one wants to deal with that. There's nothing worse than when you wake up in the morning, get out of bed, and it's just cold immediately, I think.
Yeah. It's not pleasant, is it?
No.
So it's really important that actually we do things to look after our mental health during winter. It's really important that we recognise that actually our mental health can suffer, but thankfully there are like practical, simple, everyday things we can do that can help protect or improve our mental health. And so I try and put some things in place, and all people are different though. Like I've got some kind of hints and tips, but actually like what works for one person will be different for another. I definitely know that some people love the cold, some people like love a kind of bracing walk out in the wind, and if that's your thing, then that's great. But actually, if you'd rather curl up under a blanket, then that's fine as well.
That's completely fine. I know which one I prefer, and it's definitely not the going out straight into the cold and wind and wet. It's just I don't enjoy that at all. It just makes me end up feeling cold and miserable. So,
that's true.
Oh, sorry, I almost cut you off. That was really rude of me. So,
no, go on, you go.
What have you been doing then to like try and manage your mental health and make sure that you're keeping yourself in a positive mindset?
Yep. So for me personally, I like when winter comes, I really embrace it. I'm of the mindset that actually winter can be a really fabulous season if we kind of embrace all that winter has to offer. So I love kind of getting into those dark nights when you do curl up at home and just kind of be at peace with thinking, actually, home is a really lovely place to be. You can have a warm blanket, I light some candles, eat really comforting food as well. Actually just embrace, like, whether that's like casseroles or baking cakes or just having stodgy stuff during the winter.
And
kind of think, do you know what? That's okay. I think in the summer we do love to try and eat healthy and have salads and eat light things. But actually in the winter we want hearty
Yeah.
meals.
You
We
want
want
a
to be
big
eating that sort
stodgy
of stuff.
food.
Yeah, so for me, I think the first thing is like set your mindset right that actually winter has
Yeah.
got lots of good things to offer. It's kind of like embracing that for what it is. And if you are going to go out for a walk, just embrace getting wrapped up. Get plenty of layers, hats, gloves. Because what's miserable about cold weather is not necessarily the weather, it's just not wearing the right
Yeah.
clothes for that weather, I think
Yeah.
sometimes. And we can't really blame the season, actually. We can just embrace it and prepare ourselves for
Yeah,
it. So I think that'd be
definitely.
the first thing, is kind of get your mindset right that there's loads to look forward to in winter. I'm a big fan of Christmas. I know it's not everyone's
No.
thing.
Yeah.
I know it can be really difficult for some people. But I think especially since having kids, like Christmas has become really, really
Yeah,
fun.
it's the whole thing of like Santa presents. It's a whole just. It's like bringing it back from when you were a child.
Yeah, it is. It gives you an excuse to get that kind of
Yeah.
childlike excitement again over Christmas. And it doesn't have to be a kind of, you don't have to do lots of big stuff, but it's just finding those, finding that joy in doing
Yeah.
Christmassy things
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
definitely.
Yeah, we love like baking and kind of getting the house smelling of like gingerbread
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff that we make. So yeah, kind of I think get your head right that actually there's lots to look forward to in winter and embrace it for what it is. But I do think like a really key thing is making sure you do get sunlight. I know we
Yeah.
talked about you might not feel like going out into the cold, but it's really important because if we lack sunlight, we lack vitamin D, and that is a huge part of staying well
Yeah.
physically, but also mentally. We do actually need that sunlight. So trying to get out, even if it's just for a short walk around the block
Yeah.
or
Just like pop into the
cycling
shop or
somewhere or
something.
whatever.
Just try.
What's that?
I try to get out just for at least like 20 minutes during the
Yeah.
day when it's sunny. Because I don't usually finish work till the evening, but I try to just find a little bit of time just to go out to make sure that I'm out, I'm moving about, and I don't just feel like I'm shut in the dark all day. Because that's something
Yeah,
that really can get to
definitely.
me.
Yeah, it's really important,
Yeah.
and you know, people you can take it to extremes in some ways because people who do get affected by seasonal affective disorder, they might even have a light box where
Yeah.
they have artificial light that is the way that the sunlight to help them. But actually, we don't need to spend lots of money on that. It is just kind of getting outside
Yeah.
for a little bit, isn't it?
Just going for a little bit of a walk
getting,
or something.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you can get somewhere where it's green as well, like a park,
Yeah.
or if you've got a countryside near you, that's even better. Because there is something about very calming, isn't there, about being in nature. And,
Yeah, definitely.
so I think that's really key. And I think also, like once you've had some good fresh air and exercise, when you do then kind of curl up at home later, you feel like you've got a bit of a balance
Yeah,
going.
you
Because
feel-
I think if we
You just feel like you've done something for the day then. Because there's nothing
Yeah.
worse than just sitting in one, feeling like you just sat in one spot doing nothing all day. Because I know that makes me just
Yeah.
feel like I've wasted my day.
Yeah, I think that is true, isn't it? And that's like another point, really, planning things into your day or your
Yeah.
week so you get that balance because you don't want to feel like you've sat in one spot the whole time or even just been in the same room the whole time. If you can break up your day by doing different activities, making sure there's a balance between kind of rest and work and exercise, you keep that routine going is really important that we don't just stop over winter. Definitely.
100%.
Yeah, I sorry.
No, I just said 100%. I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, I think it's true, and I think it's one of those things like when the mornings are darker and when the evenings are darker, you do want to go to bed earlier or like get up later, and you might
Yeah.
struggle to get up in the morning. I hate it if it's dark and if it's cold. I don't want to get up out of bed.
I
It's
really
actually
don't
so
want to
warm,
move.
so comfy.
Somehow
Yeah,
my bed
but-
becomes a million times more comfortable when it's dark. I'm just like, oh, I don't want to get out of bed now. I don't want to move.
It does, and actually, that is not like that's not just something that is like, oh, you're a lazy person. That everyone gets affected by that,
Yeah.
because it's not inviting to get up for the day. But it's really important that we do try and keep that routine
Yeah,
so that we are
definitely.
up in the day and sleeping well at night. Because again, if you stop seeing sunlight, stop seeing daytime, that can really have effect on your mood as well. And actually, we need that bit of daylight and sunshine to keep ourselves feeling well. So that's really important. I think.
I really do feel like keeping a routine is really beneficial for my mental health, and just making sure that I'm getting up and then going to bed at a normal time, because if I'm going to sleep like really early or really late, I'm just going to feel worse the next day, and it's almost like a spiral effect. Then it just gets worse and worse.
Yeah. Do you know what? When you have a late night, there's not a lie-in is lovely, but it never quite makes up for having not gone to bed
No.
at the right time. There's something about a lie-in that's not as good quality sleep as just going to bed early the night before. And it is hard because like on Netflix, everything is like next episode pings up so quick,
And you're just
and
like,
you have to be really like quick, don't you, to stop it and be like, no, I'm not going to binge on another episode.
and then
I'm
once
going
it
to go
starts,
to bed.
that's it. It's almost
I know.
impossible to turn it off. Once that next one starts, you're like, oh, okay, one more. And the next thing you know, it's 3 in the morning.
And that's so easy to slip into those bad habits, isn't
Yeah.
it? And it's not about beating ourselves up about it, but it's just recognising that actually, going to bed on time is really good for us, and we'll feel the benefit of it the next day, and we will feel better.
A lot better the
for
next
it.
day.
Yeah.
Especially, you're just going to end up feeling worse if you end up, like, if you've got to get up for work the next morning at like 7, 8 o'clock, but you're not going to bed until about midnight, 1 o'clock. You're going to feel awful and lethargic all day. You're going to get home, you're going to want to crash out, and then it's just going to be the same thing the next day.
And like sleep is so important. I don't think there's many people that function well on like very little amounts of sleep. We need, like, our bodies need it, and we just get grumpy. Like, I get really grumpy if I don't get enough sleep, and my head goes foggy, and I don't make right decisions.
Yeah.
I don't know if you find out when you're sleepy, when you're overtired, you just do stupid stuff
Yeah,
that
I
you
just
wouldn't do.
I just make really out of character decisions, and I just end up like trailing on my sentences as well. I say a lot but never actually say anything. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think that is true. Like, yeah, when you're tired, you're not at your best.
No.
And so definitely part of looking after your mental health is giving yourself that sleep and that rest, and getting that into a good pattern to give yourself a fighting chance of feeling the best that you can. But yeah, it is tricky. I think just also like over the winter as well is taking care of ourselves physically. I don't know if this is like a lady thing or if it's a man thing as well. It might be a man thing, but like cold weather makes your skin go dry.
Oh
Damp
no,
weather
definitely.
makes your hair go frizzy, and so you doesn't matter if you've straightened it or curled it. It's just like the rain gets to it and it frizzes, and you can start to feel less like yourself.
Yeah, you
You've
feel like
got
a different
the
person.
chapped lips, dry skin.
I mean, as you can
Is that a
tell,
man thing now?
I don't really have the problem with the hair now, considering I've got
No,
a one
yeah.
or like. But believe it or not, I did used to have like almost shoulder length hair, so I did have that same issue. When it gets like in the rain, it used to just puff right up, get all frizzy and awful, and I just feel like a completely different person. I'd look completely different. I just wouldn't feel good about myself.
Yeah, the struggle's real, isn't it? And I think guys do take care of their skin as well, but I think it's little things like that can make the difference, because winter does take a toll on you. The weather takes a toll on you, and actually if you get like dry lips or just your skin is feeling tight and sore, you don't feel great about yourself. No. So it's just taking time to look after yourself, isn't it? And
you got to take a little bit of time just to do something for yourself, just to make yourself feel, almost like make yourself feel like a good person again, like feel like yourself.
That's exactly it, isn't it? It's not like you need to look like a supermodel. It's just like actually just feeling like yourself again.
Yeah.
And taking a little bit of time, and even that time that you take can be really relaxing. Like if you enjoy having a hot shower, and just can kind of close the bathroom door and just have that time to yourself, just to kind of let your thoughts run and just think things through or just chill out, and you feel so much better afterwards. You feel relaxed.
Definitely.
And I think hot water as well, it relaxes your muscles, doesn't it? And gets you feeling gets you feeling better.
You just feel a lot more
and also
relaxed.
Just realise
that you just feel more relaxed in general.
Yeah. No, that's good.
I feel like I really cut you off mid-flow then. I'm so sorry.
That's right. Do you know what though? Also, I think when there's a little bit of a delay over the thing as well, I think it's hard for like it to be like natural.
Yeah, it's hard for conversation to flow naturally, which is something that leads back into this that I do actually find can make my mental health really struggle. It's the not interacting with as many people, not being face to face with people a lot. I find that quite difficult personally. I don't know whether you're the same, but I mean, you get to interact with people in your house, but like even if it's like work colleagues, friends, stuff like that, you can only really talk to them on the phone, over Teams or whatever, and it's just not the same really.
It's really hard because as much as technology is great and it has a use and a purpose, I think it is second best to in person, just meeting people.
100%.
And actually talking through a screen isn't the same as being there with someone in a room, and there's so much of our communication that is more than just the words that we speak. It's the kind of the body language, the tone, even just a little kind of look or comment, or just those little things just that build up kind of being someone.
100%, I agree.
Yeah, I think so, and we kind of got used to it. I think we've done it for enough months now that people are quite used to being on a screen, but then you almost get used to this second-rate communication where it's almost like you just think, oh well, that's just how it is these days. So I'm really looking forward to getting back.
100%. I'm looking forward to just being able to see people.
Yeah, it will come, won't it?
Eventually.
It will come, but in the meanwhile, it's really hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
To stay connected, and I think if you're someone that is naturally extroverted, you'll really crave that connection with lots of different people, and so you have to kind of, I guess, use technology as much as you can. But me myself, I'm introverted, so after like a busy day or if I had lots on, I actually quite like just having my own time, my own space.
100%. I agree.
Because I can feel a bit zoomed out. I know it's like lots of people probably say that, but if I've had lots of maybe like work meetings on video call or even just like family chats on video, I can't like deal with it all the time.
You do need that time just for yourself, just to be able to be like, this is me now. I don't need anybody else to bother me right now.
Yeah, I do. I need that quiet, and I think it's even harder when it's just on a screen that you're communicating with people. You just like your eyes get tired, your head gets tired, and I kind of get to the point where I think, oh, that's enough for today. I can't do any more over Zoom, and it's really important that like we're just okay with that. Because actually, I get to the point where my eyes hurt. I don't know if you find that as well, but like if you stare at a screen too long,
my eyes start hurting, which is just it's a horrible feeling. Another thing that I'm finding just a bit of a weird struggle is like when you're working from home, like a lot of people are at the moment. It's like the work-home balance, because it almost feels it just feels strange working in your own home. That's something that can take a toll on me.
Yeah, it is. We're all having to just adapt and try and make things work, aren't we, when we're working from home? If you're fortunate enough to have a room, like an office or a spare room that you can do your work that's separate to the rest of the house, that's really good. And I would recommend trying to keep that as like your workspace, so that you can come away from it and have the other areas of your house as like just home, family, relaxation spaces. Because I think it's really hard even when you're trying to not be at work, you see like you've got your computer there, you might have all your papers or your books or whatever all around, getting in the way of family life. It's really hard to switch off, isn't it? And kind of
when you've got like an email pinging up, an email pops up and you've just walked away from your laptop and you're like, oh, I should reply to that quick. The next thing you know, you've been sat there for another 3/4 of an hour replying to different emails, doing loads of stuff, and it's like, I was supposed to have a break.
Yeah, it's hard because we haven't, when you physically come away from the office or your school or wherever you're working, you have got that physical break where you can't do your stuff anymore. But it's kind of constant now. If you allowed it to be, you could have it all the time. Emails going. So it's really important to like switch it off, isn't it? And actually, if you're not working, you're not working.
Yeah, it's important to find that balance, because when it's like in your personal space, it's hard for you to have that divide. Whereas like if you leave your workplace, leave your school, whatever, you know that time is when it's done for the day, nothing again until tomorrow. But when it's at home, it can keep going, you can keep getting emails through, and next thing you know it's like 10 o'clock at night, you've been sat at your desk working all day, and it's just like it's almost relentless, it feels like sometimes.
I know that sometimes what a good thing can be is like if you've got your laptop and your stuff, like pack it all away as much as you can and then cover it, like put a blanket over it, or actually like physically block out being able to see it. And I would like turn your phone off, turn your laptop off, and physically put them away so that you're not tempted to look at it or to check it, and it's kind of mentally out of your mind. Especially like if it's over the weekend, if you know you're not going to be working the whole of Saturday and Sunday, like physically remove it all out of the way, cover it over with a blanket.
Oh, that's 100% what I do.
Is that what you did?
Yeah, I take all my stuff out. Because currently I'm still working from my from my dining table. So when it comes to the weekend, I just turn everything off, put it in my spare room, and just close the door, leave it in there, and just don't touch it again till Monday morning. Yeah,
because it helps with that mental break. I think, like, because our physical health and physical stuff is connected to our mental health, and sometimes physically doing things helps us mentally kind of take it out of our mind as well, doesn't it?
It's like almost really putting a physical barrier in place, so you're like, yep, okay, this is done now, my time is for work is done, now this is me time, which is really beneficial for your mental health, especially just being able to stop, put something down and be like, yep, okay, I'm done, this is for me now, I can do what I want to do.
Yeah, definitely. Have that separation. I think like when I get to the end of a work day, I don't really come back into this little like spare bedroom that we've got where I do my work. So that is it. It's always been closed. And I try and then do stuff that kind of definitely marks that like relaxation time has started. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
when we're in the first lockdown, we almost didn't know if it was like a weekday or a weekend day.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Everything just blurred into one. So what we found really useful as a family is we set up doing a Friday night movie night.
Yeah.
To mark like just doing stuff that you look forward to, because otherwise it does all just become one big blur, doesn't it?
It becomes the same day. It just feels the same day in, day out. So I think that it's just important. One thing that I have found really helpful actually is almost trying to treat the weeks like nothing is different, even though obviously everything is different with lockdown and stuff. Still treat it as, okay, so Monday to Friday, that's time for work. Saturday and Sunday, that's it. I don't touch any of my work. I don't do anything on the weekend because that's just me time. It's like trying to treat it that the weeks are still the same, because inherently nothing really has changed. It's just we can't go to certain places and can't do things at the moment.
There's still actually lots of stuff going on, isn't there? But I think it's that routine, and I think we as humans, we kind of crave that routine.
Yeah.
We know where we are and what we're doing, and I think that's right. If we keep our routine going of like get up, get ready for work, get dressed, get on and do what you need to do, and then compartmentalise that. So you're right, I've done my work, now I'm going to relax, and this is like another time. But we've got that routine in place. We really need that structure, don't we? I think, because I know that it's good for kids, it's good for adults too. Like we just need to know what we're doing, and it does it does help keep that rhythm of our
Yeah.
life going, so we
100%.
know what we're doing. Although, Chris,
Yeah.
when are you going to put up Christmas decorations? That is my question.
I've already got
are
my
you
Christmas
in,
tree up.
Christmas plan?
I've already got my Christmas tree up. It went up like 3 days after Halloween.
No.
Yeah, I don't even think twice about it.
Now, is that because of lockdown, or was that just you do that every year regardless?
Oh no, it goes up early every year, but the lockdown especially, I was just like, yeah, I'll put it up, it's fine. I've still got Halloween decorations out as well. I've got like a pumpkin, I've got a pumpkin plant pot just next to my Christmas tree. It's all over the
Oh,
place.
brilliant. So actually, just put up all the decorations for the whole year. Put some Easter decorations
Yeah.
up, like whatever, and then you're sorted for the year.
I mean, my kitten's still wearing a Halloween collar. We got a little orange collar with bats on it and stuff. Yeah, she's still wearing that. We're gonna get her a Christmas collar at some point. Just gonna put out as many decorations as possible. Have all of the holidays in one go.
I love that. See, I think lots of people are going to be putting up Christmas decorations early this year because we
Yeah.
need that bit of festive cheer, don't we?
Yeah.
And like I said before, I know not everyone loves Christmas, do they? It can
No.
be really, really tough for people, but lots of people just love it, like Christmas lights.
Yeah.
And I know already where I live, people have put them up like weeks earlier than usual. I think we need it. When the evenings
yeah.
are dark, it does cheer you up to see Christmas lights.
It's nice to have like the lights on your Christmas tree going and twinkling and stuff. It makes winter feel like a nicer time for me. Like,
Yeah.
just, like it reminds me of being a kid, like being really excited for Christmas dinner, presents, stuff like that. I mean, I say that like I'm not excited about my Christmas dinner this year. I cannot wait for it. It's my favourite thing of the year. So
I love a good Christmas roast as well.
where you get to have goose fat potatoes, pigs in blankets. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all that matters to me. The rest is just like, yeah, it's fine. 'Cause I'm not like a big turkey person, so that part.
So yeah, you're a dinner fan, not necessarily too bothered by presents or anything else. It's
No.
Christmas dinner, is it?
Christmas dinner is the most important thing for me this year because there's just something about eating too much and then sitting on your sofa and not able to move for a couple of hours. You only get to do it once a year and it's great.
Totally. I love it, and that's great. That's things to look forward to,
Yeah.
isn't it? And like comfort food and just
Yeah.
things that we love that we put in place. And I bet it makes you feel happy even just talking about it.
Oh
right now.
yeah, 100%. I'm just thinking about eating like all of the quality street and everything. And that
Yeah.
the day after Christmas, like Boxing Day, you still got food left over. It's a great time. It's like 3 days where you can just eat anything you want and just sit there and just veg out and not have to think.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect relaxation period, I think.
That's good. That is good. You definitely found your happy place.
Yeah.
I feel like you.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I love Christmas lights. We put lights up outside our house as well,
Oh,
and we always go for a little tour around the community where we live to look at everyone else's lights, and
I love
I
seeing
love it.
Christmas
All the
lights.
better.
I love seeing Christmas lights on houses. Because I live in a flat, I can't really put any lights on or anything on the top floor. I might just hang some fairy lights out the window at some point.
You could do.
I
You could do.
I theoretically could. Or I could stand on the fire escape at the back to put them up, but
Careful.
it's a bit...
Be careful. I think the more the better. I think the tackier,
Oh,
the more
yeah.
colourful, and the more that people put on their houses, the better. I
You-
absolutely love
I want my house visible from space if I'm doing Christmas lights.
it.
I
Yeah.
want it to just be nothing but light pollution, that's it.
Oh gosh, and then worry about the electricity bill later.
I just pretend the electricity bill doesn't matter until Christmas, and then you look at it and you just go, oh no, why did I put up all those lights?
That's it, isn't it? Maybe I should rethink the lights. Yeah,
Oh no, it's
Yeah, you
fine.
should.
It's a problem for next year.
fair enough. Fair enough.
That's why I view anything I do in December. It's just like, yeah, no, I've eaten too much food, I've eaten like an animal, but that's a problem for next year now. That's like the best bit about Christmas.
We're talking about Christmas, but we have to recognise as well that actually winter isn't just Christmas. We quite often can struggle. We get to January,
Yeah.
and that can be a really hard time, can't it? Like we've got this build up now, which we've got lots of things we can look forward to, and kind of maybe all the baking and the cooking. But in January and February, it's really important, isn't it, to like look after ourselves, because actually that's a really tricky time. I think it's even harder than like November, December.
It's the post-Christmas like slump. There's just nothing really going on for ages then.
Yeah, it is a really hard time anyway, even like without coronavirus. I think each year, January, February come, and it can feel like a really down time for everyone, I think, but especially for some people that maybe struggle more with mental health over winter. So actually, as much as we kind of joke about like, you know, all the silly stuff we can do over Christmas, it's important that come January, we do actually look after our mental health.
100%.
With those things, isn't it? Like getting fresh air and exercise, and still having things to look forward to. I know there isn't the like Christmas and stuff, but just things like maybe meeting up with friends if restrictions have lifted, maybe enjoying going out for a meal again if we can. Those things that we can kind of put in place to look forward to, and keeping in touch.
Almost just like trying to make sure you reward yourself after a long week. That sounds like an awful way to put it. It makes you feel like a dog when you say it, but it's like rewarding yourself for a hard week or a hard month. Make at the end of the day, end of the week, whatever, just being like, yeah, no, I did this. I feel good about that, so I'm going to do this. Like the way I do it, especially like whenever like I've been trying to eat healthier and stuff. Like if I go like a full week eating really healthily, feeling really good about it, I'll have like a chocolate cake at the end of the week or something, just a little like muffin.
Yeah.
Just like as a little bit of a treat for yourself.
But we all thrive on that reward, and it's an encouragement, and it's something to look forward to. And we've got to be kind to ourselves. Like when we've completed a week of work, we might have had all sorts of challenges, whether that's IT or just trying to get projects done, or maybe at school there's been lots of just stuff going on that is hard for us. We need to recognise that we are working really hard and we are in exceptional circumstances, and that reward at the end of the week, like, just lets us know that, isn't it? It's like a pat on the back, actually, well done, like, you have done a really good job. So often we would do that for other people perhaps, but we forget to do it for ourselves, don't we? So it's really important to be kind to ourselves.
No, I can 100% agree with that. It's like positive reinforcement. It's like, yeah, you've done this well and you deserve to feel good about this. Because I know I can get to the end of the week and just feel like I haven't really done anything. Even though I know I've done loads of stuff, it just doesn't feel like I've done much. But just having it and just being like, no, you can relax now, you've done all of this. This is good, you can enjoy yourself now. It just makes you feel like you've actually accomplished your week and done everything you wanted to do.
Yeah, it's acknowledging your own things that you have done, and actually also acknowledging that not everything might have gone amazingly well. Stuff might have not happened, or it might have not gone how you wanted it to. But just acknowledge also that actually that's not always our fault. Is that lots of things are out of our hands at the minute. So I think it is really good to get to the end of the week and mark it with something you're looking forward to. Acknowledge that you really tried your best during the week, and if it hasn't gone your way, then that's okay, and it's important to relax at the weekends.
It's just important to make yourself feel good at the end of your week, whether you feel like it's gone well or whatever you want to feel like. Just make yourself feel like, yes, I've made it through this week of bad work, good work, tough times, easy times, whatever it is. Be like, yeah, I've done it, I'm now through this week. Now is my time, and then next week I'll do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. I think also it's really important just to mention, like, actually, if you're really struggling, reaching out for help as well.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's lots of, like, we've talked about loads of stuff that we can do practically to like keep ourselves feeling well over winter. But for those of us that maybe are really struggling, like, don't struggle alone, I would say. Like, reach out for help, because whether that's someone in your family you can chat to, or whether that's maybe needing to call a GP and have an appointment just to kind of give yourself a check over and talk to a GP about how you're feeling, can be a really useful thing
100%.
to do. So like, yeah, I guess it's not easy, like we said, like it's really hard to reach out to people.
It's hard to reach, especially at the moment, especially like lacking face-to-face appointments and stuff. It's just a lot harder. But the way I view it is the same as like your physical health. You'd go to, like, you'd want to speak to a GP if you'd like twisted your ankle and it hurt or something. So if you're not feeling mentally very well, it's the same thing. Might not be a physical ailment, but it's the same thing, and it's just as important to check on your mental health as it is your physical health.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that 100%. Like we often know how to look after ourselves physically, like if we twisted our ankle or I don't know, burnt our arm on the oven or accident or something. But actually, we need to do that for ourselves mentally as well. And quite often people might think, oh, I don't know how to do that. But actually, it's reaching out to people and asking for help is a really key way, or just letting someone know that you're struggling actually, and they will be there for you, because people do want to help and support each other at this time.
No one wants to see anybody else suffering. No one else wants to see anybody else struggle with anything.
No, so it's just being able to do that, isn't it? Knowing that you can just let someone know that you're not feeling well, and definitely go and see a doctor, or if you just want to get more advice about it, like speak to someone at the YMCA. We have lots of people here that can help and support as well, and there's information about website and stuff.
There's a lot of great self-referral services available as well. There's well-being. I'm trying to think what the other ones are called now. I know that there's
there's the wellbeing service that you can self-refer into, but also like if there's young people listening to this, like encourage them to get in contact with the YMCA through the website, drop us a line. We're always here for people to just even have a chat to and see what's going on, if we can help.
If you just want to have a break from everything, just play some video games with us or anything like that, drop us just a message on our website, on our Instagram, whatever. One of us will be there to pick it up. 90% chance it's going to be me. And then, we'll just see what we can do to help you, because no, you don't have to struggle alone. You're never alone with it.
That's fab. That's really good. I'm hopeless at video games or computer games or whatever it is. I'm awful at them. So bad at them. Like, no coordination or like anything like that.
I'm awful at them, honestly. All of my coordination is used up by just being able to skateboard, so playing video games I suck at. I do it all the time. I play them all the time and I'm still no good. But I think we are now about to get to the end of the time, so I just want to thank you for coming onto the podcast and joining me today. I really appreciate it. And thanks to everybody for listening. And if you want to talk to us about anything we've discussed today, don't hesitate to message us on Instagram, message us on our website, or just let us know in some way. But thank you all for listening, and I'll catch you again next week.
Great, thanks for having me, Chris. Lovely to chat to you.
Bye. If anything we touched on today affected you, don't hesitate to contact us at www.ymcanorfolkyouthsuite.org or contact the Wellbeing Service at www.wellbeingnands.co.uk.